So I was just getting ready to go out the door with my wife to celebrate our 16-year wedding anniversary, and there was a package in the mail that came from Ron and Gina in California, who have a nice zinc yellow Mustang Mach 1. Become good friends over the years, and we've talked on and off, and they were very nice to send me some things before. I did the story of their car a little while ago, and I'll put the link of that story in the video description if you'd like to see it. But they had sent me some nice things, and they had decided they wanted to send me something else here, and it was for my brother and me. And so I was reading through the note. It was really nice of them to do that for me, and I was really excited to open it up and see what it was. And you can see how excited I am here. It's a really nice yellow Mach 1 t-shirt. Oh, I know which one's for me. Oh, and which one's for my brother. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Danny Johnson Garage. Justin SVT. Yep. They even have our names on them. Cool. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic. I love this new shirt. It is my favorite shirt now. So I decided I would wear my brother's over to his house and surprise him and see how this goes. Kind of hard to hold the camera. He could kind of tell something was going on.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Don't get this shirt on dirty. Yeah. Oh, what? That's cool. Did Megan make it? No. Yeah. Where'd you get that? It was sent to you. Oh, yeah? Well, don't get it dirty. So don't worry, I took it off. I didn't get it dirty. We've been working on his Yukon, so you'll see some footage of that coming up here. So I wanted to drive the orange Cobra a little bit. It's been a while, and I wanted to just drive it around and get it up to temperature and everything. Fun to see all the bright colors in the driveway. It really does look like a lineup at a Ford dealership. I wanted to clean up the Cobra a little bit. It just gets dusty from sitting, so I tried using the leaf blower just to blow most of the dust off the car, and a lot of times that works, but I did notice that it seems like the last time I washed it, the water dried a little quickly on it, and there were some runs of, water spots and things. Nothing serious, but I just decided that I'd try the leaf blower first, and then I'd go ahead and just ultimately wash the car. So I went ahead and did that. It's mostly just dust that needs to come off the car, so I just used a nice wet microfiber and a dry one, and I just kind of wipe the dust off gently and then dry the car. So That works out pretty well. It's how I've washed them for a long time. I've been using some of the quick detailer stuff, and some of that just leaves a lot of residue, kind of like wax behind, and you have to polish it out and stuff. So this is kind of the better way that I've always done it, and it works pretty well. So there you have a nice lineup of Mustangs. Always something fun, always a little different. And I do have the other Mustangs in the other garage that I'll trade in and out. But look at this beautiful competition orange. It looks so good in the sunlight. And I know you can never do it justice unless you're in person. And so the camera just doesn't do it. But it looks really good, looks really clean. Just kind of enjoying the car. We'll walk around, we'll pull into the garage here. Still has a little bit of clutch chatter. I put a spec stage 1 clutch in it just to have something closer to stock, and it still hasn't had really a lot of braking. I don't think I've driven it 500 miles since I put that clutch in. And speaking of competition orange Terminators, there is a page about low mileage cars, and somebody had posted pictures of their competition orange Cobra with 20,000 miles on it. And it's fun to look through and see that and see people who appreciate the cars and read through the comments. You can see here this has 20,000 miles on it, and somebody was commenting about it, and they were saying, oh, this is a car you want to keep stock. It's a beautiful car. This is my favorite color. Competition orange was the best color made. So that was a really nice comment. The owner of that comment has a red Terminator with higher mileage on it, and so they're saying I would keep that car stock if I were you and just enjoy it the way it is. And that is what I have chosen to do with my competition orange Cobra, which is almost stock. And on that topic, I've been talking a lot with people about things like how the supercharger sounds when it's stock. And I did have a video of my Cobra driving around that I had shared in these conversations with friends lately. And so I thought we'd go ahead and just show a little bit of what my Cobra sounded like stock. It did have a Mach cap back in this video, but it was pretty quiet, and you can hear the supercharger whine a lot. So I think it's pretty cool to hear that and hear the stock Eaton. And with a bigger pulley on it, it whines, but it doesn't wind up as quickly. You don't hear it have the same pitch as a pulleyed Cobra, and so it's kind of a unique sound, and you can tell it's stock in the video. Speaking of Cobras, I really wanted to take my red Cobra out and go to this nice frozen custard place. Get some cookie dough. Oh, it was so good. And it's one of our favorite places to go, and it was a very nice night. You know, I told my wife I'd just go around the block for a minute, and then we ended up here. It was just too nice of a night, and he was the only one who wanted to go for the ride that night, so he got ice cream. And so this place has been around for a long time. My whole childhood, we'd come here when family or friends would come to visit town. They have this machine called the Concrete, and it makes this custard, which is basically like soft serve ice cream. It tastes just as good to me, and that's how I've always seen it. But it comes out of this machine, and it falls into a bucket. You always think it's going to drop off and get thrown away, but don't worry, it does get caught at the bottom. And I heard they only have a couple of these machines in the entire state, so it's pretty cool to see. And it's been kind of fun. It's like going to an old malt shop. I have a friend at work who collects old things, like soda junkie things, where they used to make and have different ways of serving soda pop and stuff, and he collects old Coke machines and stuff. So it's been fun to talk to him and think of, that's one of the pastimes, is taking the Mustang and going out for ice cream. That's a big one for me. So I parked back here where nobody would see the car, nobody heard it, and we had a great time. It was really fun. So I put the Cobra back in the garage and just enjoyed seeing the lineup in there and hanging out. It's kind of like a man cave for me. It's one of the places I like to be. The car is all looking good in here, and I have some of my memorabilia on the walls. I had a friend back east named Tyler who had sent me some more Mustang brochures and posters that you'll see on the wall, so that's pretty cool. He had the Competition Orange Terminator I did a story about. He's had a Mystachrome one, Sonic Blue. He's had a lot of really neat Mustangs. Put the Mach 1 sticker that came on the t-shirt on the wall. I just like to keep stuff like that. I thought that was so cool. That was on the sticker, and just a mini picture of what came on that t-shirt. And so just really enjoying my zinc yellow Mach 1. And now the shirt matches. So speaking of zinc yellow, I took the zinc yellow GT to work really early. And so this is the GT. It's not the Mach 1. I know they're the same color. Definitely not as nice as the Mach 1, but still a fun car to drive around and enjoy and not worry about too much when I take it to work. Not worry about somebody dinging it as much, but I still park over to the side as much as I can. And I enjoy just driving this and seeing it there in the parking lot alone at night. And it's just a really nice place to park the car and just have some quiet time and enjoy before I go and clock in, and I could watch the car on the security camera and just make sure that nobody's going to bump it or ding it or hurt it or anything. And so I just got my Mustang keys, the cool keychain a friend of mine had sent. That was in a video a couple years ago when I took my other yellow Mach 1 to the racetrack. He gave me that awesome Mustang keychain. And I've been taking the GTs over to my brother's house a lot lately. We're working on his Denali. And I let him drive it so I could hear it. You never really know what your car sounds like from the outside or looks like. Not only hear it, which is fantastic, but to see it driving, because this is a car that was completely wrecked and I never got to see it in action now. So I went to a meet with those other 3-valve Mustang GTs. It rained, and so it kind of rained us out. I took the Mach 1 back over to my brother's house the next morning to work on the Denali bright and early, and we would take it out to go run parts and stuff, and I had some errands to run, so I went through the part of town I really like out here. And this is just a nice day in the Mach 1. I thought I'll take the Mach 1 because it's such a nice day. I used to hang out here all the time where those buildings are behind you. It was just newly paved road, and now there's buildings there, but they've paved some more new road, and I'll hang out there until the buildings are up. So I went on this drive actually to go pick up my son and his friend who were at a church activity, which was out this way. And then when I got back, I helped myself to some nice cold ice cream and enjoyed hanging out with the Mustangs in the garage. You can tell that's one of my favorite things to do. Then my wife needed us to go to the store and grab something, so my little boy went with me. We took the zinc yellow Mach 1 and went for a nice evening drive, my favorite time of night. So I just had to take the Mach 1 and go out and go to this nice market nearby, somewhere where the car would be safe out in the parking lot, and then came back out, and it's always fun walking up to the car. It always looks so good. I'm just so happy to have this one too. So I drove the Mach 1 to work. You'll see this is the same parking spot that I had the GT in, and you'll see all the other cars there too. And it's fun because I used to park here with my brother a lot when our shifts were closer scheduled, and so now he's starting to drive his GT at a time that's closer to when we work together, so we'll park together sometimes. You'll see that coming up. But taking the Mach 1 out and enjoying it, and then going for a nice drive in the morning when it's time to go home. Walking out to the car just looks so good. It was such a beautiful day. It's starting to get to the fall time around here. The sun's starting to change a little bit. It's my favorite time. Love that. So fun to take it. I also stopped at that same market on the way home to grab some things, and just walking out to the car is always just fun. It's something I enjoy, just looking at the car. So I wanted to hear it a little bit, so here's some more sound clips of it. Snap, crackle, pop, and a little bark from the MagnaFlow Magnapacks. Enjoyed some cinnamon roll out on the new carpet by the cars. If you haven't noticed, I like to sit on this nice carpet. You'll see a little more of that later, but beautiful sunset, just a really nice time to be out and enjoying the cars in the evening shade, and just having a great time in the evening. There's some clouds, there's a little rain. We'll see some of that coming up here in a little bit, but really nice lately. It's been hot, but it's also been nice in the evenings, and so just always fun to hang out and enjoy the man cave of the garage. So I have a lot of footage like this, and nothing enough to make a video all about it by itself, but just every time I take little videos like this, I thought, well, I'll put this all together and show it in my videos. And instead of doing an update for each car, this time I just thought I'd put it all together, but it seems like it was actually enough to do a video in each car. But got the silver GT there. There's my brother's Mach 1, my Mach 1, and the blue Bullitt all sitting there together. You haven't seen the cars for a while. It's fun to go see them again. And this is kind of like looking at a barn find car, coming in here and looking up close at the patina of this Mustang Bullitt. You can see the fuel door. Definitely not perfect. There's a little bubbling on the chrome from the fuel door. I do have a Bullitt OEM fuel door brand new in the box, so this one can still stay on the car. It doesn't really bother me, but you can see where it does have a little bit of damage there, and some of the aluminum's cracked off. And so just kind of fun to do this and just kind of pretend like I'm finding a barn find Mustang. I like to do that after watching a lot of shows too on YouTube and stuff about barn find Mustangs, and knowing I do have something special that does sit and hide a lot. And so it's kind of fun to just look over the car and look at the patina. So I've been driving the silver GT a lot, almost every day to work. I know you've seen the other ones at work too, but mostly the silver one goes there. This was another early morning going to my brother's house. We've taken the GTs over there to work on the cars, and there's the yellow one over there in this case, had the heads off the Denali, put a new cam in it and stuff. He's been really busy with this, deleting the DOD, displacement on demand, so he has videos all about that. We did the timing all together. Been working really hard on this together, and I've taken the GT and we'll take it out on parts runs because we'll be a little dirty or whatever, and he doesn't want to take his new truck or the Cobra because we're kind of dirty. I'm like, well, let's take the GT, and he's like, you sure? It's like, yeah, it's it's perfect to take it out there. We'll go for a drive, and it's just awesome to have the car for that use and go run parts. Nice cloudy evening. It was raining a little bit around here. We'll see some more of that here. But we took the GT, went to the auto parts store, and had a good evening. And there was even a Mazda Turbo 6-speed that tried racing me, and the GT, for being bone stock, ran door to door with it. So here is me talking to them at the stoplight.
Bro, this thing's bone stock. Not even an air filter.
Automatic too.
Automatic.
Automatic, dude.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Put a whooping on those with my Mach 1, but the GT being automatic and stock I knew would be hard to beat, but it did a great job. Held up just fine, ran door to door with it. Actually, I think I pulled a little right at the end. So, rained on the car a lot, and driving in the rain reminds me a lot of my first Mustang, because I would drive it in all weather no matter what, and I'd listen to certain music that reminded me of that. So I'd play that music as I'm driving now in the rain with the car. And this is a GT that can be used for everything. It goes out in the rain, it sits outside anyway. So I did take it to my anniversary lunch with my wife to this place called Pizza Factory. Really a cool hometown place. My friend with the silver GT 3-valve had made all the metal in this building with welding and stuff. But it was kind of fun to go do that, because that's like a little hometown staple, just like the ice cream place. And so I took the GT, and it was raining and stuff, so that was okay. And the GT did a great job of leaving it in the parking lot and not worrying about it like the Cobra, and I just decided I wanted to do it that day. So again, the GT back at work, and now you'll see it parked next to my brother's white Mustang GT, who he has a crazy, incredible story about getting that car back and everything he's been through with it. And so it's great to see it parked here in the parking lot again, like it used to be, because we used to park our Mustangs here next to each other all the time, and shift changes and promotion positions have changed that. It's kind of like the way it was. Now here's the zinc yellow GT in the rain, and yeah, it gets rained on, but this car was left for dead, crashed and parted out. So it's a better life than what it used to have, and it's happy in my driveway. And because of that, I wash it more, and I have to take care of both GTs more because they sit outside, and the Tahoe. So it was wash day. This car was also wrecked and parted out when I fixed it, so it's definitely a better life than it had. But if I keep it washed and waxed, I think it'll look a lot better, and then I'll take as good a care of it as I can, even though it's daily driven and parks outside. But beautiful car. It looks really good. Just hit 70,000 miles with it, and so I bought it with 62 when it was wrecked, and it's just been a trooper. It's been a great car. So we washed both the GTs. I park it on the grass. I always get footage of my wife driving off when she takes it places. Boy, that sounds good. And I got a couple models of the cars. So those models were for sale, and I've always liked them. And so I got, one's a silver 35th anniversary, and one's a 99 GT. And they're yellow and silver, so that's cool. But anyway, took the GT to the swimming pool because, cloth seats doesn't really bother it. If the kids get a little wet, don't want to take the other cars there. And it's pretty close, but just far enough away that I don't really want to walk there. And so I love that the GTs take us there, especially since both those GTs were wrecked and totaled and gone. And now they're very useful, especially for something like that on a daily basis. So here's the 70,000 mile mark. I was a little late catching it, but there it is. And man, just a nice evening with this beautiful Mustang that was completely totaled and parted out. Always awesome to see it back on the road. Love seeing it saved. I was at the park with our kids, and my wife was driving by in the GT, so I pulled out the phone to record her go by. I love seeing cars go by this park. And I love seeing any of my cars drive by. It's really fun. I'll have my brother drive them sometimes just so I can see them from the outside. But always fun to see it, and it's fun to see your own car going down the road. I mean, how often does that happen? So I just record her when she goes by because I knew she was coming, and I told her, like, let me know when you're close. But the GT's looking good. The paint, beautiful, silver metallic. I can't get enough of how good it looks in the sun. I'm always trying to record it and get it on camera. But just really nice to have. I love seeing both these GTs with their bullet wheels, and just enjoy having both of these cars to use as daily drivers, and something that's what I consider eye candy sitting in the driveway. When I go for walks and we get back to our house, I always say to my wife, wow, look, this guy's got a couple Mustangs. That looks good. Another beautiful sunset here in southern Utah. Enjoying the evening out. That's a lot of what I do when I'm home. Just kind of hang out and go outside and open the garage doors. There's the Bullitt here hanging out in the garage, and I'm just really trying to just enjoy life. You don't always have to drive the cars to enjoy them. Sometimes I just enjoy being around them. Again, the GT at the store, errand running, and going to different places. Just always love walking up to it. Now, this silver GT is just like mine, and it was for sale on the way to Lake Powell in a little town called Kanab, Utah. And it's cool to see it. See, interior upgrade package. It was exactly like my silver car, but it's a 5-speed. And I saw this one when I had traveled to Lake Powell. I got out and looked at it and thought, man, that's a good looking car. And at the time, my silver one was still in pieces. And so I could only hope that mine was going to be this nice. Well, the listing came up for this car. The owner decided to sell it. And so I just wanted to see the pictures of it. I knew it was the same car. It has a little dent on the quarter panel and stuff, but very beautiful car. Interior upgrade package, has the silver trim around the radio. Just really cool to see. Really nice looking car. It looks like the door handle is black, whether it was painted or repaired or replaced. The engine looked pretty good. Had a kind of a cheaper cold air intake on it and some hoses and stuff, but it's like the twin to my car, but a stick shift. And like I said, seeing this car gave me motivation to want to fix mine up. And I always wanted to fix mine up anyway, but I was like, man, I can't wait till mine's like that. And this one has 131,000 miles on it, so not too high, but mine only has 60,000, so it's quite a difference, about half the mileage actually. And so here's the GT at work next to my friend's Kawasaki ZX14. And then later when my brother got there, just let the video speak in that. I was saying, especially considering that they've both been through something rough. Here we are at the pool again. GT's a great car to take there. I love seeing it there while I swim too with the family. Took it to go get some snacks and just enjoy errand running with it. I mean, you'll see a lot of that. And then this is me driving the Shelby back with my wife driving the GT behind us. And it's just so cool to see the GT. It looked really good in the mirror. I thought, man, that car looks fantastic. I was very proud of it. Thought that's how cool it looks going down the road. So here we are again in the man cave garage. Like I said, you'll see a lot of footage like that because this is where I spend a lot of time. Don't go a whole lot of places when you have little kids, and so sometimes you just enjoy being at home and being in the man cave. There's that keychain I was telling you about again. My friend with the Red Fire GT had given me that, and that's in a video when I went to the Midnight Mayhem racing. And he had that low mileage GT with the Zinc Yellow Mach 1, my other Zinc Yellow Mach 1. So there's the Zinc Yellow GT at the pool, going and getting the pool key from my grandma and just enjoying the car, taking some closer up footage of the car. It looks great. That hood scoop was off another Zinc Yellow car. The hood was off a V6, and it had been repainted like the front fenders. You can tell they're a little bit off, but hey, at least they're not like green or red or something. And then I had to go to the dentist and take my kids, and so my wife had me meet her there. I took the GT, and just really great to see in all these parking lots and all these places. It has a whole new life. And my mother-in-law had got new carpet, and this was extra scrap carpet, but really nice, really soft. So this is what I used to just roll out and hang out in the shade and enjoy a nice morning. I had the day off of work, so wanted to hang out. And my friend had found these interior upgrade package headrests and asked me if I was interested in buying them from him. And so I couldn't resist. I decided to go ahead and get him. This is the guy who has the Red Fire GT up north. You may have seen the Red Fire GT was on the channel a lot, and I've done some updates on it. But he had found these at a wrecking yard, and he's always on the lookout, which is great. And I looked so hard for a set of these for my blue Mach 1 because it was not an interior upgrade package car. And so if he'd offered these to me back in like 2011 when I had just got the car, I would have freaked out and been so excited to get them. And this time I was like, well, I don't really need them, but you know, it's always good to have special parts like that. I did get a set of 20,000 mile really nice ones for my blue Mach 1, and so that's that story. But just hanging out, teaching Spanish with the kids, in the shade, just trying to help my wife with the homeschooling and stuff that she does with them, and just enjoying being a dad at home and having cars and stuff. And so that's just kind of an update of all the cars. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do little updates of each car or just go ahead and make one of everything that's been going on lately. Everyone asks me, what have you been up to? And I've been up to a lot, and this is it. And it always has something to do with Mustangs, and I really enjoy that. So that's the update on a bunch of the cars, and I hope you enjoy the channel. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.